I work a steady job, live modestly, and take pride in being financially responsible. I didn't grow up with much, so I learned early how to budget, save, and make smart decisions with money. I don't have a flashy lifestyle, no debt, a decent emergency fund, and I'm slowly building up my savings. It's not glamorous, but it's secure. That's probably why I was drawn to her in the first place. Her name was Layla. She was 28, vibrant, spontaneous, magnetic. The kind of person who walks into a room and makes it feel brighter without even trying. We'd been dating for a little over a year. She brought something into my life I didn't know I was missing: energy, laughter, excitement. She could turn an ordinary Tuesday night into a celebration. But beneath all that charm, we were different. Especially when it came to money. Layla had what she called a treat-yourself mentality. And at first, I didn't mind. New clothes, spontaneous weekend getaways, designer bags, fine dining with friends. She worked hard, she deserved it, right? I never wanted to be the guy who policed another person's spending habits. Her money, her rules. But even in the early days, there were red flags, small ones, just enough to make me pause. Casual complaints like, credit cards are the worst, or, everything's so expensive lately. I chalked them up to venting. We all do it, especially when a bill hits harder than expected. I wish I'd paid closer attention. A few weeks ago, we were at this upscale restaurant, her choice. One of those places where the portions are laughably small and the bill makes your stomach twist. I didn't complain. It had been a while since we went out, and I figured she deserved a night like that. Midway through dessert, after a couple of cocktails, she dropped it on me. If you really loved me, she said, you'd help me pay off my credit card debt. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I truly thought she was joking. It came out so casually, so out of left field, with this flirtatious tone. I brushed it off. Nice try, I said, and went back to the dessert menu. But she wasn't joking. I'm serious, she added, smiling like it was nothing. I froze. Who says something like that? It felt like a trap. I gave a non-committal answer, that's a big ask, hoping it would end there. She shrugged and mumbled something about it being a test. A test? The night moved on, but something in me shifted. A few days later, it came up again. This time we were at her apartment, just hanging out. No drinks, no distractions. She brought it up while scrolling through her phone, said the debt was overwhelming, that even a little help from me would mean the world. She framed it as a matter of trust. Of partnership. It's not about the money, she said. It's about us being a team. That line stuck with me. For a moment I wondered, was I being cold? Selfish? My mom used to say love was about building a life together, not buying affection. And I realized we weren't building anything. I was being pressured into something I never signed up for. When I asked how much she owed, she dodged. Not that much, she said. I'm handling it. I just want to get ahead. When I pressed for a number, she shut me down completely. You're either in this with me, she said, or you're not. That was the first time I felt something deeper than discomfort. I felt manipulated. Still, I tried to move past it. Maybe she was just stressed. Maybe she felt like she couldn't be honest. I gave her space, hoping it would blow over. But it didn't. The next weekend, it happened again. She sighed during a movie and said, I don't know how much longer I can live like this. At first, I didn't get what she meant. Then she added, always being stressed about money. Always worrying. I took a deep breath. We've talked about this. You know how I feel. She turned to me, arms crossed, eyes hard. Do I? Because all I see is someone who says he loves me but won't help me when I need it most. I tried to stay calm. We've been dating for a year, Layla. We're not married. It's not fair for you to expect this from me. Her eyes narrowed. Wow. I guess I was wrong about you. I thought you'd have my back. That hit harder than I expected. I'd helped her before, covered rent once, paid for more dinners than I could count, gas for trips, little things. But this was different. She kept saying it wasn't about the money, that it was about proving I cared. But that didn't feel like love, it felt like leverage. Then the guilt turned to insults. You're just cheap. A cheapskate who doesn't want to lift a finger for someone else. It hurt. I didn't want to fight, so I left. Over the next few days, something shifted in me. I started watching more closely. Layla's behavior didn't match her words. She posted stories on Instagram, new outfits, spa days, lattes, brunch with friends. None of it screamed financial struggle. Then I saw a post that hit differently, a designer handbag, captioned, "Self-love is the best love." The bag? Easily over $1,000. This was the same woman who'd been crying about credit card debt. Something wasn't right. I did something I'm not proud of. I looked through her Venmo. It was public. There were recent payments for drinks, clubs, Uber rides, and a trip to Vegas she never mentioned. It had happened just weeks before our talk about debt. That wasn't stress. That was indulgence. I decided I needed answers. I went to her apartment and asked directly, "How much do you owe?" She hesitated. "It doesn't matter." "It does to me. You want me to help, then help me understand." She rolled her eyes. "Fine. Like $15,000? Maybe $16,000. But I'm making the minimum payments. It's hard, okay? You're making minimums while going out every weekend?" She snapped. "You don't get it. You're lucky. You've never had to struggle." I stayed calm. "Why is this my responsibility?" "Because we're supposed to be a team," she shouted. "If you were in my shoes, I'd help you." "Would you?" I asked. "Would you really? Or would you call me irresponsible?" She exploded. Called me selfish. Accused me of being just like everyone else who'd let her down. I stood there and let her rage pass. But I was done. That night, I left and never looked back. I blocked her on everything. I didn't wait for her to explain, to spin it, to guilt me again. Because this wasn't love. This was manipulation dressed up as a relationship. And no matter how much you care about someone, if they demand your sacrifice to prove your worth, they never really saw your value to begin with.